Well, hello everybody, how are you? Marco G and little Hoolie G here. And we're going to do something a little different for you today. Today we are going to make some bread. Yeah. Okay, and this is what we are going to cook the bread in. This goes into the oven. So the very first thing that I'm going to do, and there's a reason that I'm going to do it, is I'm going to pop this into the oven. I've had the oven preheated at 400 degrees or 230 degrees Celsius. So I'm just going to pop this lad in because I want it to be nice and hot. Ooh, that is hot. Right, very first thing, after you've washed your hands of course on the work surface, first thing is, this is a very simple bread. All it is flour, yeast, salt and water. That is it. Right, flour. We're going to put in 500 grams of flour. Now I think this is 3 cups of flour. I might be wrong about that. I'll have to, now you can hear little Hoolie in the background. She's giving me all the instructions as I carry on through this. It can be any flour. I usually use plain flour, but I've just run out of that, so this is self-raising flour, but it won't make much of a difference, believe it or not. So 500 grams into there. Well, if you want to, you can use whole grain flour as well, but I wouldn't use all 500 grams of that. I'd put 300 grams of plain flour and then 200 grams of whole grain flour. Otherwise you end up with this really solid loaf. Now, fine, if you're into really solid loaves, that's fine maybe, but I wouldn't do that. Right, 500 grams. Let's move this out of the way. Get our mixing bowl here. 500 grams of flour. 1 teaspoon. Oops. 1 teaspoon of salt. I've got yeast. This is dried yeast. It's like for bread machines. And what I want to do is here is put 3/4 of a teaspoon of dried yeast in. Now, so that's as far as the dry ingredients are. Throw that in there. Give it a bit of a mix around. Yeah, you keep entertaining us, Hoolie. Sing a song for us. Right. Now, nice mix of that. Okay, in goes the water. What I've got here is 375 milliliters of water. Just cold water, normal cold water. And I'm just going to start mixing that in. And you'll see that this makes quite a wet dough. Mix that around as best you can with that. It'll just dry up. Now at this point I usually throw my hand in. Yeah, and what happens next, Hoolie? Alright. Right, pick it around, and I'm trying to just scoop up all the rest of the flour with this. Now, and that's it. There isn't a lot of super heavy mixing. There isn't anything like that. What you want to do now is you need this to rise. Yeah, so there's a couple of ways of doing that. You could put your oven on really low for about 10 minutes, then turn it off just so that the oven is warm inside. Then if you boil up some water in a pot, cover this with a cloth, put it in with the water, and then just leave it for about 4 hours, 5 hours. It rises up, and then you can have the bread the same day. But what I tend to do is I tend to show some cling film on this because I want to keep some moisture in. It's very hard to work under these conditions, Hooley. You're shouting at me too much. I'm doing it as quick as I can. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to keep a bit of moisture in there. So what I do is I wrap that like this, and I would pop it into the hot press, as we call it, airing cupboard. I'm not too sure what you'd call it, but a nice warm, dry place. And I actually leave this in overnight. So I do one of these in the daytime, and then the next day I come and make the bread. So that's the way I do it. So in proper food programs fashion, here's one that I'm prepared. I popped this in the hot press last night. So you'll see now. You'll see that it's all very soft. And that's the way it turns out. That's fine. Right, now for the fun part. Get myself a little bit of flour. You want to do this bit, Hooley? Alright. Put it on like that. Now get some flour on your hands also. Because when you're trying to scoop this out, it kind of sticks to you. So you don't want it to stick. So if you have some flour on your hands and kind of just scoop it out like that. I don't know if my head's in your way, is it? Scooped out onto the flour. Now it is a very sticky dough. So a little bit of flour on top. And all you really want to do now is just shape it, because you don't actually need to knead this. Throw it over just to make sure I've got it. Now what I would usually do is I just stretch it out a bit like that. And then literally fold that on there like that. That on there like that. And I leave that like that. Now that's, for me, that's upside down. So, next step. Next step is to take the pot from the hot oven. Excuse me, I'm doing this as quick as I can. Okay. The hot oven. And put this in. Now, whatever you do, make sure you've got some proper towels and stuff like this to pick this thing out of here, because it's red hot. As I say, it's 400 degrees, so it's very hot oven. Right. Oh, you get back. Right, and what to do simply is you pick this straight up, like so, and then just point it right in. Oh, that's it. See, that's it. Just in there like that. And that's it. Lid on. You come away there. Yeah. Get out. He wants to. There. Yeah. And that goes in there for about half an hour. That goes in for half an hour first, and then the idea will then be that you take the lid off and you're able to stick it in for another 10 minutes, and that will brown it off for you. Now the good thing about this is that you now have all your bits ready, all out. To start again, put it in your bowl and put it in the hot press for a nice bread tomorrow. So, there you go. That's the first part of it. That's in there. It's going to cook away in there. And my job now at the moment is to keep the little Hooley away from the cooker, because she is so nosy. And I'll show you what comes out in half an hour. Check time. Oh, it's 4:05. Yum, yum, yum. Now, of course, if you want to, and I have done before, I've put sultanas and raisins and stuff in with the bread, in with the mix. It's turned out really nice. There's nice sweetness in it. The other thing you can do is when you're rolling it around on the flour, you can roll it around on sesame seeds and other sort of seeds, anything you like, just roll it around on it as well. And that's a nice little thing that you'll see now when it comes out. You can imagine it with all the sesame seeds on it and stuff like that. It's shocking nice. Of course, now, just to let you know, I'm recording this on a flip camera, so I can't see what I'm filming until afterwards. Which is why that up until now, there's been an odd bit where I've not been actually on the screen, just taking the stuff out. I've been a little off screen. So please forgive that. I'll do my best. I've kind of zeroed the camera in where I think it's going to be, and I'm just going to do the rest of the video there, and hopefully it'll be in and you can see what I'm doing. Shut up, you! Joking. Right, here we go. Okay, 1/2 hour has passed, and I'm going to remove the pot. Now, this thing is red hot. I don't know what these pots are called. They're cast iron. Now, look at that. Oh, you can imagine that. Crunchy, crunchy. Lovely. Right, so now what I do is I pop it back in for another 15 minutes or so and let it get a little bit browner. Now, so I'll pop this over to the side so I don't... You hear that? So I don't accidentally touch it off anything. Those pots, they're really cool, and what happens is, because they're so enclosed and they're hot when you start, when you put it in, it starts to cook and it creates a really nice crust, nice and crunchy. So that's the deal with them. You can use other pots as long as the handle doesn't melt on you, but you can use the other pots. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna pull it out. Here it goes. Shut up! Oh yeah. Well, look at that. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that just fantastic? Oh my gosh. Make sure I don't touch any of the sides. That will burn my hand off. Wow. Woo! Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Normally, of course, I would let it cool. But just because you guys are here, I'm going to cut this baby. I'm cutting a hole in the table. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is fantastic. Oh my god, I'm in love. There you go, guys. The easiest bread you can ever make. Took me what, 45 minutes to actually make it. Well, to cook it. Then what, 15 minutes to mix it all up. So it's about an hour in total. If you don't count all the time you're just lounging around in the hot press, letting it rise. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try it out. And myself and little Hoolie are going to have a nice slice of this now with some butter and some raspberry jam. So there you go, folks. Your very own bread. Make it at home. It's so easy. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a good go at it, and I hope you try a few different variations. And have a go and let me know. Let me know, comment down below. Let me know what you've done, if you've done anything different. And what different things you've put in it, what different seeds or different fruit or whatever way you like bread. Let me know, and I'd love to hear from you. And don't be afraid to subscribe. And give me a thumbs up as well if you like it. Talk to you soon, guys. This is me and the Hoolie out. Cyber kiss! Tell you what, guys, lovely. Oh man, man. If you could smell this now. That is just gorgeous. Oh, it's mine. I'm gonna eat it. I was going to give some to everyone, but I'm going to keep it. It's mine. It's mine. It's all mine.